drinking tons and tons of the ginger ale.
Right.
And it's, I think it's about the same amount of sugar.
It's the same amount of sugar.
So,
that's what I was saying. We should wean with diet something.
Well, no, I don't want to do diet, but I'm also, I'm one of these people who I'm kind of paying attention to what's going on over in Sochi, the Olympics, and the different reactions people are having to the different people who are making money from sponsoring the Olympics in a place that is so just the
oh, that's good.
The attitudes of the Russian government towards the gay community and everything like that, and so it's one of those things where I have to occasionally
drink ginger ale,
walk the walk, rather than just talk the talk. Oh, I feel so bad. No, I'm going to stay away from McDonald's and from Coke for a while.
There you go.
Yeah,
Good for you.
That's me, which will help me as well. So
exactly.
And the one nice thing, I made one small adjustment, a really small adjustment in my stuff. Yeah. But I've lost 5 pounds since last week.
What?
Which is a drop in the bucket for how freaking heavy I am, but it's 5 pounds.
That's 5 pounds I want to lose.
Yeah. So if I can do that 20 more times.
I think I found your 5 pounds. You can have them back.
Oh, no, thank you. I really would like to not do that.
Well, good for you. Hey, I'll drink to that.
And it's a small thing. I have a tendency to eat late at night. Like after I get done with rehearsals, in the past we've rehearsed. We've done the podcast very late.
Yep.
Or when we used to do We Pick the Winners, that would run not late, but late enough to where it was like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the evening.
Mm-hmm. It would.
And then driving home, and I'd just go, I'm hungry, and I would eat an entire meal.
Oh,
and it was usually a crappy meal, like from McDonald's.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I'm avoiding. So this past week, it's not an amazing difference because what I did is late at night I'm having salads.
Nice.
But the salad still has like high caloric dressing on it. I'm making these giant Caesar salads. So I'm using a Caesar dressing, which is pretty much the fattest dressing you can use.
It is fattening, yes.
But it's enough of a difference in what I'm taking in and how satisfying it is compared to what I was eating before. Because I'm eating the big salad and I'm like, oh, I'm done. I feel good. I'm not like going, oh, and now I need some dessert, and now I need this, and now I need that.
Right.
And I've been eating an occasional apple this last week.
Nice.
It's ridiculous. It sounds so simple. It's not something I think about because growing up.
Well, we were doing that hormone diet.
Yeah. Oh.
That's what we were eating. We were eating chicken salads.
Yeah.
And then they said I was eating the 2 portions of fruit, so I'd have an apple in the morning and an apple at night.
But it wasn't with all the fatty dressing.
I would be lemon juice I was using on that. Now I use Marie's blue cheese dressing, which is fantastic.
It's really.
If you ever try blue cheese dressing, try Marie's. Yeah. Get the super chunky blue cheese. It's phenomenal.
Yeah. And that's one of those things I've discovered as I grow older. When I was a kid, blue cheese would freak me out. It just was such a horrible, stringent flavor.
I couldn't eat mashed potatoes when I was a kid.
You mentioned that before.
Yeah, for whatever the reason, it was just, and it was my dad's favorite meal.
Oh.
And he would go ballistic because everybody would be eating their potatoes, and I would have them on my plate, and I couldn't eat them. I gag. I don't know why. It was just psychological.
Yeah.
But anyways, and then I couldn't eat coleslaw. I couldn't eat a lot of things. And then all of a sudden my palate turned, and boy, I can't, I love mashed potatoes now. And it's just something that happened, but boy, it drove my dad nuts. Eat that, you're not leaving the table. And I would sit there for hours. Oh.
I discovered one of these things that when I was a younger kid, I always loved going to a steakhouse. That was a big deal when I was a little boy.
Oh, yeah.
Going to a steakhouse, even if it was a cheap Charlie cheesy, Bonanza or Sizzler or whatever.
Our big family thing out was Red Lobster.
Okay, there you go. All right,
that's when we got the whole family together. We go to Red Lobster because you can kind of get anything, and you get the seafood because you don't eat. Actually, my family did eat a lot of seafood for whatever the reason. Every Friday we would have, when I was young, like 5 to 10 years old, there was a fish market at the, what we call the city line, because we were about 2 miles off of the actual city line of Buffalo.
Right.
And then we started the little suburb of West Seneca, which is where we lived. But right on that, quote, city line, that kind of margin there was this fish market. And every Friday, Dad would bring home 2 big pieces of fish, like haddock, and a bunch of French fries. And every Friday we'd have fish and fries.
Nice.
Kind of like fish and chips.
Right.
And Mom would make a salad or something. And so we ate seafood regularly in that regard.
Right.
And then like I said, our big family get-togethers when we got older. So now I'm in my 30s and stuff. We would all go to Red Lobster, and everybody have a blast.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But that was one of those things growing up, the steakhouse, and you could order, you'd get a baked potato.
Oh, yeah.
And, the sour cream and chives and butter.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like sour cream and chives when I was a kid, but I'd like butter on it. So I'd do butter and ketchup.
You can ketchup on baked potatoes,
on a baked potato.
Yeah.
On any kind of potato, really. But
well, that's true. Put it on French fries. Why not?
But the one thing there was always a salad, and the classic steakhouse salad is that wedge salad, which is that just a quarter chunk of an iceberg lettuce that's been hacked off of a.
I saw that for the first time like a month ago.
You've never had one before?
I've never had one before, and I saw it. I said, "That looks awesome."
Yeah.
I got one. They're great.
Oh yeah. But it's that with some diced tomatoes, some bacon, little bits of bacon, and then the blue cheese dressing. Which was, for me, the kid, I was like, ew, tomatoes, blue cheese, ew, I won't eat it.
Yeah.
Now, oh my God, it's one of my favorite things in the world.
To borrow it, yeah.
But I'm going to have to try the Marie's blue cheese dressing, because the blue cheese dressing that I tried didn't taste as good as what I was having at the one restaurant. Black Angus is the place that
I'll
had
put
it.
Marie's blue cheese dressing on anything.
Yeah. Oh,
I
really?
put it on pizza.
Wow.
I put it on anything I can. It's just so, for me, it's just
Very
so
tasty.
good. It's got it's creaminess, and it's got a lot of blue cheese, but it's not overpowering. And then, of course, chicken wings. Oh,
Yeah.
I
was going to say that's a very Buffalo thing that you're doing there, right? So
absolutely. That's kind of what solidified it. Is when you go out, and most of the restaurants would serve the Marie's blue cheese,
right?
But a lot of restaurants had their own. They get their own blue cheese, was very good.
Yeah.
But you couldn't find it in the supermarkets, but you could find Marie's.
Right.
And then when you found it in the supermarket, you go, hey, that was like at the restaurant. That even made it even better.
Right.
Because it brings back all those sensations from when you're going out.
Same taste and same scent.
Yeah. So I put it on anything, man. It's awesome.
Well, here's the thing. There's a local pizza place up here in Burbank.
Okay.
It's called Dino's, I think, right there at the corner of Hollywood Way and Burbank.
Yeah, I go buy it every day.
They have salads as well as really good pizza. For me, it's one of the best pizzas in there.
I always wanted to. When I first got there, I got to go. I drove by and I go, there's Dino's. How more East Coast can you get Dino's?
Yeah.
And I'm like,
so, to me, it's one of the best tasting pizzas in the area. They're consistent. They're good.
We'll have to go as Vinnie and Pauley and try it out.
We'll try it sometime. But
bring the WiseGuys.
They have a lot of different salads they offer there that are really good. They have this thick apple smoked bacon that they cook and chop up onto some of their salads and stuff. And they have a wedge salad.
Oh, really?
They have a wedge salad. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now, what I get is, instead of a chunk of iceberg, it's romaine. It's romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
It's a long, big thing of romaine. Nice, crisp romaine lettuce.
I love romaine
And
lettuce.
it's topped off with the blue cheese dressing and the diced tomatoes and the apple, the big, thick pieces of apple smoked bacon. But there was also one other thing that they put on there.
What was that?
They put balsamic vinaigrette on it as well.
Ooh.
Added in that little savory flavor in with the blue cheese and everything else. I could not believe how good it tasted.
Oh, we'll have to try it.
I was like, this is ridiculous. This is going to be terrible. This is going to be awful. Oh my God. This is really good. So, so obviously, for both of us, food is kind of a big deal. I mean, for everybody in the world, food is a big deal, but some of us get caught up in it in different ways. And
Sure.
for me, it's always been an emotional thing. And it's one of the reasons I've just gotten fatter and fatter over the years.
Yeah.
You let me be depressed long enough and not do anything about it, and it's been my own fault. There's no question about it. I eat. I eat crap. I eat what I can afford, or eat what I can shove in, or what's easily accessible that I don't have to cook.
The problem is what's easiest accessible is probably the worst stuff for you, and the most fattening stuff for you. But it's also the best tasting stuff.
Often, yeah.
That's where it gets you.
A lot of science behind that, behind that stuff, those flavors and everything else. And so, and that's, again, going back to what I said, the Coke and the McDonald's and everything. At some point in time, if they, if those particular corporations get themselves together and make the proper, outreach to the people that I think they're hurting right now, then, I may try them again. But for now, no. And that's a good thing. It's a good thing for me physically and everything else. It means now that I've said this in public, I have to actually live up to it. So
that's the goal.
Yeah.
That's the hope.
And,
that's the plan.
The next step is making sure the exercise comes on a regular basis. What have you been doing? I mean, I know that you've been trying to get some stuff going.
I just started this week moving into my plan of trying to get my weight under control. And so I'm getting into some more activity, just slowly but surely, because you're sedentary for so long, any type of movement, your body wants to repel from, the next day teaches you a lesson saying, oh, you used that muscle yesterday, didn't you? Now, fuck you,
Yeah, exactly.
And
you didn't really want to do that, did you?
That's right, yeah. You're not going to be using it for another week because I'm going to make it hurt. Yeah. So I'm sore, I'm trying not to get too aggressive so I'm not so sore that I'll never want to do anything like that for a month,
That's smart. That's really smart.
And it's hard to do because you feel like if you're not jumping in and being aggressive about it, you're not going to get the result you want.
Right.
So you gotta walk that tightrope. So I'm moving real slow, but I'm adding activity every day. So whether it be walking, running, or just some mild lifting with some of the little dumbbells, I got 8-pound dumbbells. So just doing something to stay active, along with what I do anyways, which is I walk probably a couple miles a day anyways, just in my job. But so I'm doing that. Yeah, which is good. Yeah. So I'm doing that, and then, like you, I'm really going to take a serious account of what I'm putting into my pie hole. So because I heard someone on the radio the other day. It was a doctor of nutrition or something. He says, exercise. If you had to choose between exercise and diet, the thing that has the most effect on your weight is diet.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Because exercise, he says, if you exercise for an hour, you're only going to burn 500 calories. Well, 500 calories is only equivalent to 1/8 of a pound. Yeah. But he says you can have a much more drastic effect on calories if you don't take them in. So, they say if you don't do anything for the day, your body will just by sitting and sleeping will burn 1,700 calories in a day. Right. So as long as you're not taking in more than 1,700 calories, you're not going to gain weight because your body will just naturally burn that off. So if you only take in 1,200 calories, that's 500, or even 1,000. You can, there's 750 calories where it would take you an hour and a half of exercise to get that same 750 calories to burn off. Right. So if you don't take it in, you don't have to freaking burn it off. That's right. So you can have a much greater control of your weight by diet first and then exercise. He says if you had to choose between the two, choose diet first because it's easier in some respects, and then not to exclude exercise, but he says once you start, it's like anything. A lot of it's mental. Once you start seeing that you are losing weight, like you lost 5 pounds, now you're feeling good. You got a whole different mental.
I feel a little better. Yeah.
You got a whole different way of looking at things as opposed to if you gained 5 pounds.
No kidding.
So and then you're like, F this, F that. What am I doing? Screw it. I'm going to eat anyways.
Exactly.
So and that's the other thing. So it puts you in a much better dynamic psychologically to continue to go after that exercise and diet the way you need to. So So I've started that. Over the weekend and this week, and I'm going to continue that, and just going to keep pushing the rock, as they say. You keep pushing it up the hill, and sooner or later you're going to get there.
Right, that's the idea behind it, and that's one of the things I'm trying to do. I got a couple of those nice apps downloaded on my phone. 100 push-ups. Yeah. Okay. The 100 push-ups, 200 sit-ups, 200 squats, all this stuff. I need to start using them. I need to start doing it on a regular basis and, no excuse. And getting out and doing the walking and stuff like that. It's not like I have to do the long, slow, steady state cardio that is so. I can do it in high intensity, and I like that better, but I need to do something. I can talk all day about what I like to do. Yeah. I'm not doing it right now. I'm not doing diddly. It's too easy for me to sit in front of the computer and worry over little things that are useless than it is for me to actually do anything. And this has been sort of a pattern in my life. I go through where I'm great guns, I take care of business, and then I let it slide, and then it's all gone.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'm about as heavy as I've ever been. I'm
heavier than I've ever been.
Really?
I weighed myself today, first time in about 2 months, and I was shocked, and I'm pissed, but I know I'm going to do something about it. So. Well,
last week I was 317. This week I'm actually 6 pounds. I was 311 this morning. Okay. But the heaviest I ever was, I think I was 325 back in 2002 or 2003, 325 pounds. And I saw it when somebody taped a play that I did. Yeah. And this was one of these things where there's an entrance and two guys precede me out the door, and then I entered. And I'm watching the tape, and I'm like, oh, there's Bob, there's John. who is that shuffling behemoth that just walked in? I wasn't walking. I was shuffling. I wasn't picking up my feet and putting them down. I was just kind of rocking my weight through the door with absolutely no awareness of how far I'd let myself go.
Wow.
It was terrible. And so that was what made me start chasing some other things. That, and I met a girl who, she was in great shape and wanted to go hiking all the time. And it was like, I better.
She have a sister?
No, just two older brothers. It
is L.A. So.
Yeah, it's true. It was one of those things where as badly as I've let myself go, I haven't gotten all the way back to my worst, but I shouldn't have even gotten this close to begin with. I mean, I hear you. Being over 300 pounds at 6 feet tall.
Should be playing football.
Yeah, well, I should be carrying more of it as muscle, but the other thing is that I for my profession, for what I'm doing, for trying to make it out here, I'm a character actor. I'm not a beautiful man. I'm a character actor, but I could be in better shape and have more things to play.
Right. Yeah.
And hopefully live a little longer. Right now, I'm 51 years old. As I said, of a certain age. It's one of those things where if I take care of myself, I could potentially be working for as long as my brain can remember lines. I could have a career that could go until I'm 65, 70, 75 years old.
No one says you can't.
But I need to actually be alive.
That's right.
To make that. So,
That's right.
So and these things, cutting the weight, getting down to a certain level.
And it's not something that can't be done. It's just something that needs to be done.
Right. And it's just me.
Something we have to do.
Have me not doing it the way I should have been. So,
So tell me about your week. You had a little busy week last
last Friday I worked on a TV show called Rake.
I knew it was something.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm very, very happy. I had a co-star role on that. Not a big role, but I'm in several scenes.
Nice.
And,
they did have you for several scenes. Good.
Yeah. And the nice thing is, and you don't know about this.
I don't know about this because that's why I asked.
I go back on Monday to finish because they didn't finish everything last Friday.
Are we going to drink to that? Come on, baby.
I got 2 days.
You did get the 2 days out of it. Nice.
So 2 days.
So that means you were there for a while on Friday.
Yeah. Well, it was 8 hours, but they didn't start until almost 8 o'clock. Almost 9 o'clock at night.
What was your call time?
My call time was 9 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Originally, it was like 7, and then they pushed it to 7:30, and then they pushed it to 8, and then they pushed it to 8:30, and I got a text that day saying, "You push it to 9," and I still showed up a little like around 8:30, 8:35.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gave me the time to kind of wander in and meet people and stuff like that. Really, all of the PAs and everybody that were dealing with me, just excellent people. Everybody was good. The director was wonderful, an Australian woman who. Apparently, they remembered seeing my audition tape because one of the scenes that has me as the bailiff in the room, he actually kind of uses me as an example, and he says some really horrible things about me, and that I'm not going to give away the stuff right now, but they wanted to see reactions out of me, not big, clowny reactions, but they wanted to see that he was getting under my skin, but I was still on the job. And they trusted me with that, which is great. I mean, nice. I know that sounds simple, but you don't get to say anything. You don't get to do anything, and you got to balance that. Plus the fact that I'm the co-star.
Yeah,
I'm not the star.
You're there to push the story along.
Exactly. Right. They're going to turn the camera around on me, and the 15 seconds that they taped of my reactions while he was talking, probably going to see 3. You know,
yeah.
But
if that,
but they liked it. I got some good laughs out of them. From when they shot my turnaround, and the assistant director told me how much she liked it, and thank you. So
great.
But then they said the scene where you say your line, we're not going to get it to it tonight. We're going to be doing it sometime later, and we'll give you a call. And so yesterday I got the email saying next Monday, as you said.